See, this was a first-time event, but it's not like they had never put on an event before, and it's certainly not like they had never put on an event in LA before.
That's it. That's my intro.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm professionally curious and I talk for a living. You're watching Swell Entertainment, the channel where I tell you about whatever I'm obsessed with every week. And this week I went to the French Fry Festival, the very first French Fry Festival in Los Angeles. I don't think this is the first French Fry Festival across the country. This was advertised to me on Instagram and I immediately bought a ticket. I immediately bought VIP first thing, to the point that they then were like, oh, actually VIP is 21 and up. Please confirm that you are 21 and up for everyone that you bought a VIP ticket for. If not, please refund those VIP tickets, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm just such a baby. No, I'm kidding. I'm 28, so it doesn't matter. So I was just like, okay, but this is French Fry Festival and it's put on by bucket listers. My understanding is that they've done quite a few events in Los Angeles. So my whole point is I'm like, because sometimes when we have a bad event, especially in the last year, 2 years even, when there's a bad event, it's usually because TikToker number 6 saw that they could maybe make money with an event and decided to throw an event and don't realize the amount of costs that go into events and how long it takes events to make money. And so usually that's where the issue lies, is they set up to make out this like massive convention, things of that nature. They don't realize what actually goes into that, the amount of hidden costs, the amount of things that adds up. Even with the current state of the economy, tickets can still sell really well because people are seeking that in-person engagement, that in-person experience, because everything online is so draining and also so generated. So you can still make good money from events, but obviously they're going to prioritize established events over time, or they're still going to prioritize something that is a reasonable cost. So when you are doing a first-time event and one of scale, a massive event, of course, things are going to start adding up. My whole point with bringing up the TikToker number 6 throwing a convention or something or a festival is that they don't actually have event experience 90% of the time. They've been to a convention or two and they're like, I can do it because I can read, or something like that, which I mean, right now is a limited skill set that is apparently available. It's getting rare. A company like Bucket Listers that has done multiple in-person live events, I expect more from them right off the bat. Same with the way that I spoke about events for conventions in new cities, i.e. VidCon Baltimore. It's like, you've done this for numerous years. A new city, there should be certain things that are copied and pasted, okay? Yes, there's going to be different laws. Yes, there's going to be different regulations, different venues, etc. But certain things you should know how to deal with at this point. This is all in LA, though. They do things across the country, but they've done events in LA. This was at the grounds of the Autry Museum. The Autry, and it's literally across the way from the LA Zoo, okay? Which is good for parking, frankly, which I do think was 90% of this, was like there was a ton of parking, so parking was free. You can just park at the zoo. Plenty of overflow. I think it's fine. But that also meant that this was an outdoor event in a hilly area. Sun pounding down. Most of my complaints do not come down to the sun and the heat, but they also do, because you should know better. This is LA. It's summer. The sprinkling of umbrellas that they had for the outdoor seating area was not enough by any means, in my personal opinion. But it's just, there's so much happening here that I want to talk about. Most of my gripes with this comes down to heat, water, the way this was set up and orchestrated, which I get why they were doing it this way. I think there needed to be more cohesion in how they actually laid it out. Oh, also the AI art they used for the original promo photo. If you look at it too hard, your brain will start hurting. I don't know if they tried to clean up the words French fries on any of these posters. Half it's just nonsense. No one's legs are facing the direction they should be with this. It's a very alarming photo. That field is mostly accurate. That poster on the Los Angeles French Fry Festival is mostly accurate. The way that they set up the food trucks is not. So basically the Autry has like kind of like a driveway area and then a big grass field, and we were outside. They had all the food trucks lined up. I do mean all the food trucks, and they gave us this bingo sheet, which people were marking this off. You didn't win anything as far as I could tell if you checked them all off, so that's why I left mine blank. They were advertising originally like 20 plus vendors in the emails, I believe, but I don't know if they're counting all the vendors. About this event, we're celebrating National French Fry Day. You guys did not do nearly enough to advertise that this was National French. I had no fucking idea. I was at this event for 4 hours. We could have done more with that. I'm so sorry. Actually, I had no idea that's why you picked this day. Because you know why? It was also 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven Day is better branding. than French Fry Day, evidently, at the French Fry Festival. Okay. They did 3 sessions: early session, afternoon, evening session. General admission, this is after fees. This is per person. $38.63. That just gets you into the festival. Children, 3 to 12. $24 a person. And before someone says something psycho in my comment section, like, Amanda, that's cheaper than Disneyland. Disneyland has shit to do. I had VIP, like I said. This says starting at $64.43 per person. I paid $70 after fees. And that comes with skip the line, VIP line, which they didn't enforce whatsoever. Bag of fries, welcome cocktail, VIP area, 21 and only. And then it got sold out for all 3 sessions. They were using a token system for the French fries. I think this was stupid, only because I think you should have done it in a way that every single food truck vendor in this area was doing the food tokens, or move the people that weren't to another area. I also think you should have swapped where you had the vendors and the food trucks, but then that would mean driving the food trucks onto the grass of the Autry, which I'm assuming is what you didn't want to do, even though that's what's in your AI-generated promo photo. See why we don't do that?
So it's at the Autry. There's assuming the entrance. There's the trucks. There's the line. General admission VIP is separated like this. I'm curious how they're doing the lines. The lines are not open yet because it's not. It's 10:48.
So we get in line. I get there. Find parking, no problem. It's at the zoo day. It's Saturday. I already expected the zoo to be crazy. Side note, you should totally go to the zoo. I love the zoo. Walk across, get in line. And there's already 2 lines. And they're not very clear about which line is which. I assumed because I saw general admission, the ticket stand, and the VIP ticket stand. So I got in this line. I made the assumption. Then after I've been in line for 10 minutes is when they started being like, hey guys, this one's VIP, this one's general admission. So I assumed correctly, but there's a better way to do that. They did let us in a little bit late because it was supposed to be at 11. Now, because of the time slots, I had no idea if they were going to kick us out at 2 or not. And so I knew, I was like, okay, I'm at least going to have to stay till 2 to see if they kick us out. Wait in line. Then at 11:10 is when they let us in, and they let both general admission and VIP in at the same time. Which someone's going to be like, yeah, that's how they should do it. When you're advertising that VIP has a skip the line quality to it, you let VIP in first. I'm sorry, that's what you're selling. It's how you got to do it. Everyone hates it, I know, but it's what you're selling. So, okay. So they did let us in at 10:11, which is 11 minutes past our time. What I haven't been able to get asked is how they're going to deal with us leaving. So I go through, then I was like going to just do my usual route as I usually do when I get into an event, which is just like make up as much ground as I possibly can, do a lap, get my bearings, assess from there. And then I realized that there was already a line for the tokens. They were doing tokens, okay? So rather than me going to a food truck, hi, can I get some fries? And tapping my card, I had to give them a token. So most of the food trucks had their fries for $7, which was 1 token. 1 token was $7. So you could order tokens early, $7 per person for combo meals, burgers, and then I think it was just Dave's Hot Chicken. I think they were the only ones that were having their fries for 2 tokens because they were loaded. I don't think your fries are worth $14 unless it's a bowl, like a big thing of nachos style. You know what I'm saying? That's where I think your fries could maybe be worth $14. You know what? They consistently had the shortest line because no one wanted to pay that. Anyways, there's the token booth, which is how you actually pay for the food. The token booth is dumb because they should have had one here and one at the other end. Maybe even a separate one for VIP versus general, maybe. But to do it token booth wise, I'm assuming because they're tracking who's performing the best at the end. So that like it takes, no one has to worry about payment processors not working, things like that. But then you have multiple token booths, multiple ways to get tokens. So need to buy tickets. This was pre-purchase tokens. So even then, if you pre-purchase them, you still have to pick them up here inside. So the line is still long. Fun. They had 1 token booth spot. This was dumb. In the future, you should have tokens available outside so that before people get in line, they can buy a couple of tokens, or they can try and pick up their tokens outside. They had pickup and buying tokens in the same 2 booths next to each other. So I was in the long line. They were like, did you already order tokens? No, I need to buy tokens. Okay, go over there. It's a shorter line. So it was shorter to buy tokens on site. However, the people that had pre-ordered tokens, don't think that that was going to make it faster for you, okay? Because how are they checking if you had bought tokens earlier? Printed out list. What is your name? Was that with a K? Oh. Also, y'all just left those out on multiple occasions. I could have just taken those. Like when the line did die down. The line stayed very long for most of the session. I think it was only in the last hour-ish that it really like finally dissipated. But I got a lot of tokens. So 1 token is for a sample fry. So I got 14 of them, okay? Because not every booth, not every food truck is doing the fries and is taking tokens. So like the desserts, like the ice spots and things like that. So I think I should be fine. Plus I have the extra that comes with being VIP. I now have to go to every single food truck and get a fry. I wasn't sure if I was going to do that, but now I need to see the size of the fry that you get for a $7 token. So now I got to go do that. Originally my plan was to go to every single food truck. I already knew I was going to be bringing fries home. Don't be like, Amanda's wasting fries. No, my plan was to bring them all home. Okay, that was my plan. And so I was like, I need to go to every single food truck, but not every food truck is a token. So I kept being like, I want to try all of the fries. How many tokens is that? All of the fire food trucks take tokens. How many is that? Well, you have this here. They all do, aside from the savory ones. How many is that? Because from where I was, all the food trucks are intermingled with each other. So there's like 2 or 3 that were not food trucks. They were dessert trucks, like Frozen Ice Place and things like that. They took card, but they're in the mix. So I was like, just tell me how many. Just tell me how many. So I ended up getting too many tokens, but that's fine. Okay? It's my job. It's fine. I bought like 13 or 14 tokens. Okay? $7 a piece. That's too much money. And it was definitely too much money. And I should have just been like, never mind, give me half in this moment. And I didn't. She was like, okay, I have to do it as 2 transactions. What? Oh, I can't do transactions over $100. What? Yeah, so I'll just do 7 and then 7. So I swear I probably got charged 2 credit card processing fees. The fuck are we doing? It's just like, it's the little, I can handle a lot. But you know what? I was not the only person getting fucking agitated. No offense to these people working this booth. I don't think that was her fault. I was just like, you have the card reader. Just put in the like, what do you mean? What do you mean you can't charge over $100? Is it a tax thing? So you guys can like pretend that you're making less money than you are for taxes? Like, what is that? Allegedly, I'm just throwing shit out there. Why would you have it set to that you can't do a transaction over $100? That's extremely silly. Got my stack of tokens, and then I went to go get my welcome drink before the drink line got long. They had 2 bars. This is where all the drinks were for the bar areas. I swear to God, if you ever do an outdoor event in the summer ever again and you don't have a separate water station, I don't think you should be allowed to do an event again. As far as I can tell, there's nowhere to get free water. We're under a heat advisory, just so you know. It's very hot. Most of the food trucks don't even have drinks. They only are equipped to do the tokens for food. And the only place to get water would be the drink. It's a little shorter now, but let me show you the drink line. So that's one. Get drinks. Other one's way over there. You should have free water stations. That's a water truck getting out here. That's easy. Costs money? Yeah, but people are eating a lot of food. It's hot. You should have free water. So I first got in line at the very end, which was Mr. Charlie's. It's like vegan McDonald's, I think, and I got their fries. First one down. Next up is Sunset Smash. Then I got in line at Sunset Smash, and then Proudly Serving because I skipped Dave's Hot Chicken. And my plan originally, like I said, was to go to every single food truck and get their fries from every single one. So they had multiple items on the board, and those would be like 2 or 3 tokens or what have you, okay, for like burgers and things like that. And a lot of the food trucks, I admit, did look very good for other foods.
The burgers at a lot of these places look really good. This is a fry festival, and so I feel committed to the fries. But I do want to check out what other stops they go to. Like Philly cheesesteaks look good from College Boy. I think it was Sunset Smash. They looked really good. They have crazy buns, like sesame buns and stuff. They look great. But I'm committed.
And the problem, I think, also overall with this, with doing the food trucks side of things, is food trucks already have gotten so out of hand price-wise. They've been out of hand for a while. I do so many events. Typically with events, I avoid a food truck unless it's like truly there's no other option. And I would like to not have to avoid food trucks. I do like supporting independent businesses. I do like supporting small businesses. Unfortunately, food truck prices, to make it make sense these days with the cost of ingredients and such, and gas and all of the things that go into running a food truck, prices have gotten crazy, okay? And so from a consumer standpoint, it is a nightmare. And then we have $7 fries for everything. And so what my point is I wanted to get fries from every single booth to see the portion size and whether or not this was worth at least anything resembling $7. It's, you know, like what are Mr. Charlie? Because Mr. Charlie's I can look up. They have a brick and mortar. So a side of fries, for frowny fries as they call them at Mr. Charlie's, it's $6.09 typically for a, God, is that a bigger packet of fries? This could be a bigger packet of fries than we actually got. So I got the 3 fries originally, and I was already eating here's me eating. I don't think we can use any of the audio from this because they're blasting music. I was eating these, and they did have, like I said, a sprinkling of umbrellas. They had these little pop tables with little blankets set up so that you could sit and eat, which I do think is a good idea. You just needed twice the amount, if not more. And there were plenty of tables that didn't have umbrellas. Like, you needed way more umbrellas. This was absurd. Like, the amount of people that were hobbling in the shadow of other booths or hiding under the trees. And there's not enough trees on this field, obviously. Too many. Like, they had this like spiral thing in the middle that had like a bunch of seemingly AI art generated of like the history of French fries and things like that. And there was one point where I was filming it and a woman is like sitting in the shade of one, like just up against it because that's where she could find shade. Like, it's just, it's, you know, it's LA, you know, you're on the hillside and the sun's beating down. It's hot right there because of where it is on the hillside. There's no reason you shouldn't have had more sun protection. Just zero. It's dumb. So I ate the 3 French fries, and then I was like looking at the lines. I got in line for the cheese fries, which were also $7 from College Boy. These slapped. These were actually kind of perfect.
So I got the cheese fries, which actually do look very good, and someone said they were very good, so I am excited. However, I was like, God, I'm not super hungry though. I don't know if I'm not super hungry. And then, I heard a woman say, the problem is it's so hot, I'm not hungry. And I realized, that's it. It's that hot. So I think I'm going to stop trying to eat all the fries. And I'm just going to film because we have an hour and a half left. And then if I want to get more, I can. But mainly, I'm curious how they're going to kick us all out at 2. Because there's time slots, and we're the earliest time slot.
So I ended up just filming what I needed to. I went around to some of the vendors. I walked around a bit. I ended up getting the Italian ice. Don't even ask me how much it was. I don't remember. I hit my card, and I got my cherry bomb bowl of regular just scooped up. I inhaled that.
Sauce City is this notice. We're going to walk through Sauce City.
You can get sample cups and then all the sauces, which is interesting. Both sides. Sauce City was cool. With the heat, I am curious how often you were replenishing the ice in those bowls. But I also did see the food prep people. You guys eventually put them behind a little curtain by the back of all of the food trucks. But originally that was exposed, and like the sauce things were just kind of standing on that table. Out in the heat, no refrigeration happening. Most of those are shelf stable, so I think it was probably fine. As I was walking around and filming is when they finally got on stage. That was 1 p.m. Again, a lot of us believe that we're being kicked out at 2 p.m. And the things they said they were going to do, i.e. the blindfold challenge, fry eating contest, things like that, none of that had happened at that point. So I was like, huh. So Kel Mitchell comes out and they start, throwing stuff out. The ones that were funny were they had French fry hats. Didn't get a good look at those, so I have no idea if that was also AIR. They had little, I think they were potato stress balls. That's funny. I caught these Lamb Weston possibilities and potatoes, so I think the potato company just provided these. Okay. Kept yelling. And as I was walking up to the stage and they were talking, and he was like, who's excited? And the kids are trying to get the free stuff. It's very nice. I realized that they had all of these photos of logos from different fast food chains on the table. Okay. And I was like, do they know that they're doing that? Because I don't know. I'm assuming it's not that big of a deal, but considering they were advertising this as the French Fry Festival, I'm assuming Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, who else was there? Shake Shack would want to know that they're involved. There was no presence of them at this event. So I don't think they were wanting to be involved. Also, how long were those fries sitting? Because fries can start tasting, regardless of where they're from, horrible if they're sitting unstored improperly for too long. They will just start mushy, sad, bad. And the taste is all over the place. They did the blindfold taste test challenge of that, and it was there were some people just randomly doing it. I don't know. I feel like there was a blindfolded taste test and ranking the food truck ones. I think that would have been a good idea to further highlight the food truck people that were actually there. I think that would have been better. I don't know if they ever actually did the fry eating contest, but around this time as well is when they were like, oh, and don't worry, you don't have to leave at 2. You can stay here and fry it out with us all day long. Okay. Now, I was thinking, interesting they're not going to have us leave because that's what we all thought. But there's another group of people I thought coming at 2 was actually 2:30. Where are they going to go? Because we're already filling up quite a bit of space. And again, around 1-ish, 12:40-ish, okay, is when I saw people carrying waters. I walked around looking to see if they had any water stations available. There was a juice company that was doing free samples and stuff. And I was getting a sample of their guava lemonade, which was really good just because I wanted something to drink and I was like, this should be good. And a woman came up and was like, do you guys have water? And the woman that was pouring the drink for me was like, no, the food truck shouldn't. She was like, they don't have any water. She was like, okay, we're not here to sell water because she's there to sell juice, And so most of the food trucks didn't have drinks because there were no tokens allocated for drinks. Also, $7 drinks would be crazy. Okay. And so at one point when I was eating my ice cream, I did see multiple people coming through with cases of water. I thought maybe that was the food truck people being sending someone to be go get it because we'll be the good ones, smart. Brilliant. Actually would be ingenious. The festival itself did also make an announcement about there is water because the drink lines got super long. And again, in this heat, I don't care if it's only $3. I don't think you should be charging for water. You could bring in sealed water. You were allowed to bring in your water bottles, but there were no places to fill them up unless you went into the bathroom of the Autry and used the sink, which is what I was told to do. They ended up selling water at the ticket spot for the token spot, in a big cooler, okay? And I saw there was a case at Medical. Medical did have them for free, and they were like, oh, do you want one? I was like, yes, please. And then they were like, hey, you can refill them inside the bathroom. Thank you, I won't be doing that, but I thank you for the water, in a pinch, I get it, okay? That was too late in the day to get hot water. No. Okay, you should have had water from the jump. This is an outdoor event in LA. I don't know what happened there. That should have been sorted sooner.
Okay, it's almost 2, and there's no one here. So I don't know if they're just gonna let anyone or what. I might just wait for a family or something because I still have more of these, and they're non-refundable.
I ended up staying till 2 because I fully thought that 2 was the end, and I was like, oh no one's coming at 2. What it was 2:30 and people were coming out. I still only ended up eating 4 things of fries. I ended up having still quite a bit of tokens left, and they're non-refundable, which is annoying. You buy a bunch of tokens because the line's super long, which is partially what I did. And then you're like, oh no, all of these suck or they're not worth the cost. My kid hates this, whatever. But you've already bought the tokens. So while I was leaving, I saw other people leaving, and many people were just dishing out their tokens. I ended up finding 2 women with a little boy, and I was like, "Are you guys going to the festival?" They were like, "Yeah, we're going to the festival." I was like, "Here, take these. It's low-key a racket. Take these tokens." They did look at me like I was giving them drugs, but I don't know if it was the heat and I just looked crazy. What was funny as I was leaving too, because I was overhearing people talking how frustrated they were, irritated they were in line while we were waiting for tokens. They were like, "Wait, so how do I know if I want any more or if I don't need more? Like, that's a lot of money. Da, 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 da. I can't just use my card. What do you mean?" And so, okay, the tokens thing, I'm assuming that the food vendors involved, it's to track sales so that they can't say like, "Oh, we only did X." It's like we're counting tokens or whatever. Reimbursement for food-wise so that they're controlling the food reimbursement, how many are actually sold. I do think there was a way to do this so that everyone could turn it into a game, i.e. like, oh yeah, whoever gets the most tokens at the end wins the golden french fry or something. I don't know. Or like you could vote for like your favorite french fries at the festival or something, like a big board or something. I think would have been fun, especially for the kids. I think they would have really liked that because service is up and down for some people in this area. You basically are removing the issue of payment issues on site. You just hand over the token. They take down what you want. You wait for your food. My theory was that they were going to run out of food and fries by the end of the evening. I've not heard anything. I've not seen anything about that since because I was at a friend's party. But I am curious to see how it did throughout the day. While I was leaving and I was getting in my car and I was kind of driving through the hills because my GPS was not connecting. And I was like, oh, God, I gotta find my way back to the freeway. I had the radio on and I hear them go, "The French fry lovers of Los Angeles get to enjoy the Los Angeles French Fry Festival today till 9 p.m. And they kept going. And one thing they mentioned was cooking demos. That's not a thing that was happening. So I don't know if the PR sheet that went out to all the news, local news, if that was just wrong, if you guys never updated that. There was no cooking demos happening. I do think that the French fry eating contest and things like that, you guys should have had that turned over much more quickly. I think they should have been doing like 3 or 4 ones a session. That's just me. Slash all your prices across the board. I think if the tokens were cheaper, people would be happier with a smaller serving of fries. And therefore these prices could be less insane. Also, again, if I literally can't get the French fries without then further giving you the festival money, because that's what this looks like. I have no idea how you're distributing the money to the food vendors directly. I have no idea. If that's the case, then you need cheaper entry across the board. So yeah, that's that. Would I go again? In theory. I had a lot of friends that were like, "How dare you? How dare you go without me? Oh my God, you went. That's so cool. How was it?" And I had to be like, kind of a racket. There was a lot here that I'm like, I see what you're doing, but there was also a lot here where I'm like, did you forget what time of year it was? Like, I'm almost curious how this would do, obviously, because it's French Fry Day. That's why you did it, which you should have, I think, made a bigger deal about French Fry Day, frankly. I don't know. I feel like there's a better way to handle this. Also, again, if you're doing an outdoor event, you need a water station at this point. It's getting too hot. They just keep building more data centers. You have to have a free outdoor water station, okay? You just have to. Anyways, that's probably going to be it. Were you at the French Fry Festival? Do you disagree with me? What did you think of the pricing if you went? Did you see and you didn't want to go because the price was insane? Have you been to a French Fry Festival that you think was done really well? Let me know. Comment down below. Remind you on Twitch. Remind us Swell Entertainment is now available on Spotify. Remind you Girly Pop Go if you'd like some more car and motorsport content. Shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting me on channel membership. If you also like to support me on channel memberships, you can go ahead and join down below if you like to follow me on social media. That'll be up here. And that's me. Have a lovely day. Bye. Fry you later. No, that's no. Two funny things that happened that day. While we were in line before getting in, a security guard goes, "Who's ready to get fried?" And that was funny. That got a chuckle out of me. Also, there was someone dressed in a French fry suit, like a mascot suit that was a French fry. And a dog got really upset and was barking at it. And the owner was just like, "No." That was funny.